Fellow Kittians and Nevisians, home and abroad, and all those who have chosen our beloved Federation as your home, I am deeply aware of the responsibilities you have placed on my shoulders and the hopes that all of us hold for our shared future. Every village, every street, every home, every citizen, every resident, from each end of our twin islands, has a role to play in the nation we are building together. And tonight, I want to take you behind the scenes of that nation building work. What we've done, where we are now, and where we are going. When I last addressed you in this manner, 9 months ago, I laid out a roadmap, a new direction for our economy, for our society, for our collective future. We call that vision SEED, our Sustainable Economic Expansion and Diversification Plan. It marked a deliberate shift away from an overdependence on citizenship by investment and toward a model that emphasizes production, equity, opportunity, and resilience. SEED was never about slogans or campaigns. It is about delivering economic growth that includes all of us, regardless of our backgrounds, last names, chosen professions, or political interests. But even SEED fits within something greater. Our broader mission is the Sustainable Island State Agenda, or what we now refer to simply as SISA. This is our blueprint for a 21st century St. Kitts and Nevis, one that is innovative, inclusive, environmentally responsible, and people-centered. Many have asked, what is SISA really about? And I welcome that question because the answer speaks to the heart of our national transformation. SISA is not just about solar panels or recycling bins. It is not only about clean energy or climate resilience, though those matter greatly. SISA is about people. It is about placing citizens at the center of development. It is about jobs for our youth, support for our farmers, better schools for our children, digital access for every family, and clean water, energy, and healthcare for every household, and opportunity to build generational wealth. It is about expanding opportunities across every constituency and across every community. It is a framework designed to fuel true economic independence, secure wide-reaching social justice, and grounded in national pride. SISA is built on 7 foundational pillars: energy transition, water security, food security, sustainable industries, sustainable settlements, circular economy, health and social protection. Each pillar supports a critical area of life in our federation, and together they represent the infrastructure of a future-ready nation. SISA is not a marketing strategy. It is not a soundbite. SISA is a serious multi-sector generational commitment. And while the seed in SISA demands time, investment, and collaboration, the fruits are beginning to show. I stand before you tonight to give you a sample of those fruits. What we said, what we would do, we've done. What we said we would start, we started. What we said we would build, we are building. And it is happening not in theory, nor in isolation, but in practice across the Federation. A government earns the confidence of its people by delivering on its word, by turning plans into progress and blueprints into benefits. Since taking office, your government has been steadily doing just that. Let me take you on a journey of progress across the Federation. In my last address, the Bastia desalination plant was in the final pre-construction stages. Today, I am pleased to report that the project is over 75% complete, with scores of local construction workers and equipment operators being the direct beneficiaries of this investment. Once commissioned, within this quarter, the plant will produce up to 2 million gallons of potable water per day, immediately relieving chronic water shortages in Bastia, St. Peter's, and surrounding areas. This project is made possible through a landmark US $10.2 million concessional loan from the Republic of China, Taiwan, International Cooperation and Development Fund, Taiwan ICDF. What this means in real terms is that many of our citizens will no longer have to ration water. Businesses in the capital will operate without disruption, and for the first time in years, reliable water supply will be a certainty for thousands of residents. Equally symbolic and substantive is the long-awaited reconstruction of the Bastille High School. After many years of delay, negatively impacting the lives of thousands of students, the school is finally rising again on the same historic site. Construction site preparation is well underway, where the school is projected to open its doors to students in 2027. The modern campus will house 32 classrooms, science and IT laboratories, and a 1,200-seat auditorium, a multi-purpose cafeteria, and dedicated spaces for special education and performing arts. Importantly, the new Bastille High School will also be climate smart and disaster resilient, incorporating green building principles. The developer is a Kittian. The hundreds of construction workers will be predominantly local, and the design was heavily influenced by local input. Rest assured that we are committed to our students, our teachers, and the future of education in our capital. At the Joseph N. France General Hospital, we are delivering on another long overdue promise. The Federation's first ever public MRI machine is set to open its doors in 2025. This diagnostic tool will drastically reduce the cost for our citizens and improve our clinical decision making, which will result in better healthcare for our people. No longer will we have to share an MRI machine with our monkey population. This is a major commitment to you, our people, and we are delivering. A few weeks ago, something big happened in St. Kitts. Christophe Harbour Development Company Limited, which is 30% owned by the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, sold the marina at Christophe Harbour to Safe Harbour Marinas, LLC, the largest owner and operator of marinas in the world. Do not let anyone attempt to mislead you. This strategic transaction allows for continued evolution of Christophe Harbour while placing the marina in the hands of a specialized partner with a strong track record in marina operations and waterfront lifestyle. The sale includes the marina assets and operations only. Safe Harbour Marinas plans to immediately start a significant expansion project to accommodate super yachts up to 350 feet in length and will focus on growing yachting and yachting services in St. Kitts and Nevis. We welcome Safe Harbour Marinas and look forward to the opportunities this partnership will unlock, from job creation and tourism growth to enhance global visibility for our federation. This is the type of sustainable development that uplifts our people and strengthens our economy from generations to generations. If you never examined the yachting industry before, do so now. Ask your friends and family from surrounding countries and islands what opportunities there are for small businesses and skilled trade in this industry, so that you too can take advantage of these new opportunities a few miles away at the Southeast Peninsula. I am also thrilled to report that the partnership between the federal government and the Nevis Island Administration to finally bring our geothermal energy potential to life is bearing fruit. With deep earth thermal reservoirs already identified, the international bidding process for drilling of production wells progressed such that bids were opened a few days ago, and 5 internationally recognized firms have submitted proposals. With US $37 million already secured through the Caribbean Development Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the Saudi Fund for Development, we expect drilling to commence in early 2026. Once operational, this geothermal plant could provide baseload renewable energy for Nevis and St. Kitts. It means cleaner energy, cheaper electricity, and true energy sovereignty for future generations. Our commitment to community upliftment extends to our public sports facilities, which are also being transformed. Kim Collins Athletic Stadium underwent major rehabilitation. The upgrades include a new Regopol certified track, LED lighting, expanded seating, refurbished changing rooms, and upgraded washroom facilities. The stadium is set to be officially opened this Saturday at 1:30 p.m., and I encourage all track fans to attend. These improvements will allow the stadium to host regional and international meets, while also providing our athletes with a professional-grade environment to train and compete. Nearby, at the Connery playing field, a new football pavilion has already been completed. It features locker rooms, seating areas, restrooms, and a viewing gallery. Similar enhancements are taking place at fields in Sandy Point, Deep Bay, Sadlers, and Cayon, creating a network of grassroots sports facilities throughout the island. We have also embarked on the largest road infrastructure expansion project ever by committing approximately $80 million to critical roadworks across St. Kitts, benefiting many communities. One of the most critical infrastructure upgrades is the redevelopment of the F.T. Williams Highway and the St. Peter's Main Road. St. Peter's is undeniably the largest and fastest growing residential community in the Federation. Yet, for too long, its road infrastructure failed to match the needs of its expanding population. This government made the St. Peter's Corridor, which is further expanded to the RLB Airport, a top priority. Through a $31 million investment, we have substantially completed the core works, with variation and finishing upgrades ongoing. The project, I am happy to report, is already easing traffic congestion and reducing travel time for thousands of daily commuters, as well as improving road safety, storm water management, and access to critical services for residents along this vital artery. Importantly, it lays the groundwork for further commercial and residential expansion in the area. Other roads completed, resurfaced, or newly built include the Bastille Bay Road East, Market Street, Sprott Street, Fortlands, Wigley Avenue, Trafalgar, Lower Monkey Hill, Nellie Hewlett, Palmetto Point, Boys View, Otley's Village, Harris's Village, Lime Keel Housing, Southwell Drive, CA Paul Southwell Industrial Estate, Rollins Extension in St. Paul's, Race Course in Newton Ground, and many others. And plans are afoot to continue to deliver new roads at George Street, Newtown, Boakes Road and Cleverly Hill, Sandy Point, Shadwell East and West, White House Gardens, Tabernacle Leachfield, Infirmary Road, New Road West, Clicker Housing, Halfway Tree, Molyneux, and Wingfield Old Road. These roadworks involve full-depth reconstruction, improved drainage, and road safety enhancements. These projects are being implemented by local contractors through Public Works Department and are providing employment for scores of workers. Fellow citizens and residents, I have more good news. 1 month ago, we launched a revolution at our borders, and today, the results speak for themselves. In just 30 days, our new electronic border management system, including our electronic travel authorization, or ETA, processed over 21,000 applications with 98% approval efficiency, welcoming visitors from 106 nations while firmly denying entry to any high-risk individuals. This is national security and economic agility working hand in hand. St. Kitts and Nevis is the first in the Caribbean to deploy face lanes, delivering biometric corridor control, which has slashed average immigration processing times by 96%, from 50 seconds to just 3 seconds per traveler. With visitors and citizens alike reporting a 4.9 out of 5 satisfaction rating, we've proven that Kittitian and Nevisian innovation can set global standards. We built this system to serve you. Smarter borders, safer nation, thriving tourism. Thanks to our ETA system, I can accurately report that in the 8 days leading up to St. Kitts Music Festival, June 21st to 28th, 7,711 persons arrived into our airports and another 364 persons arrived by sea, meaning 8,075 persons traveled to St. Kitts and Nevis to enjoy our music festival, our biggest and most successful in history. These 8,000 plus persons, a 76% increase in visitors over 2024, packed our hotels, spent their money, boosted many sectors of our economy, and most importantly, spread the word throughout the globe that St. Kitts and Nevis is the only place to be in June every year. This good news is not by accident. Our sustainable economic expansion and diversification plan is real and it is producing results. Collectively, these projects, all of which have begun to provide economic benefits, reflect a government that does not just take announcements but gets things done. They create jobs, they raise living standards, they bring dignity to daily life, and they make real the commitment of a government that serves. We speak of building a sustainable St. Kitts and Nevis. We cannot limit ourselves to concrete and steel. It is about the systems and connections that make our economy, our competitiveness, our government more responsive, and our society more inclusive. On the energy front, one of the most exciting developments is taking shape in the Royal Bastia Valley National Park, where we are preparing to launch a solar PV and battery energy storage system project, a cornerstone of our clean energy transition. In partnership with Castalia Advisors, a leading global energy consultancy, and through funding secured with development partners, we have completed the feasibility studies and land use assessments. The Cabinet has since approved the project's advancement, and we will soon be issuing tenders for the engineering, procurement, and construction phase. Once operational by late 2026, this solar farm is expected to supply over 30% of the electricity demand on St. Kitts, significantly reducing our dependence on fossil fuels, lowering energy bills, and shrinking our national carbon footprint. Another transformational project, which has advanced steadily, is the upgrade of the Nevis power plant, our primary electricity generation site. In collaboration with the Saudi Fund for Development, we have secured US $40 million to install an 18-megawatt dual fuel generation system. This plant will be able to operate on diesel and natural gas, giving us fuel flexibility while reducing long-term operating costs. The project is currently in the consultant procurement phase, and construction is expected to begin in early 2026. Once completed in early 2027, the new infrastructure will supply nearly 50% of our national energy demand. This is critical, not just for homes and schools, but also for our industrial base, our health facilities, and our ability to integrate renewable energy sources like solar and geothermal energies. In respect of water security, in May, we launched a groundbreaking initiative to secure sustainable water resources throughout St. Kitts, particularly in the rural communities, where we commenced a semi-airborne drone survey. The survey launched is part of our government's strategic investment in strengthening national water security and identifying new sources of groundwater. The project uses a state-of-the-art method that combines aerial drone technology with ground-based electrodes to collect geophysical data. The goal is to locate viable aquifers and pinpoint precise sites for future groundwater well development outside of Bastia. But modernization doesn't stop at physical infrastructure. Enhancing the ease of doing business in St. Kitts and Nevis is essential to attract investment. We are therefore building a smarter, more efficient government, one that works for you wherever you are, whenever you need it. That transformation begins with our national EID system, developed in collaboration with Cybernetica, the Estonian firm behind the world's most advanced digital government and supported by Taiwan ICDF. All technical equipment have passed factory acceptance testing in Taiwan and will arrive in St. Kitts and Nevis by October 2025. Installation begins immediately thereafter. In 2026, we expect to issue digital ID cards to over 25,000 citizens, unlocking a new era of secure, convenient access to public services. With your EID, you'll be able to apply for a passport, request a birth certificate, register a business, or pay taxes, all from your phone or computer. No more waiting in lines, no more red tape. Just fast, transparent service. Complementing the EID rollout is our forthcoming national government e-payments platform, developed by the Inland Revenue Department in partnership with the Accountant General's Office, the Ministry of ICT, and supported by legal vetting from the Attorneys General Chambers. This platform will be the digital gateway for paying taxes, renewing licenses, and settling government fees. Phase 1 is already in testing and will be live by mid-2026, making government transactions more accessible to every household and small business in the Federation and our diaspora. To every Kittitian, Nevisian, and cherished resident of our Federation, no country can truly call itself resilient, sovereign, or future-ready unless it can feed itself. This is why food security remains a foundational pillar of our sustainable island state agenda. Perhaps the most visible symbol of this agricultural rebirth is the Tabasco Pepper Project, a groundbreaking partnership between the government of St. Kitts and Nevis and the world-renowned McKinney Company, makers of Tabasco brand pepper sauce. At Foy's Estate in September 2024, the first trial crops were planted. Just 90 days later, the fields were bursting with vibrant red peppers. Following a visit from experts from this company shortly after, they certified that our pepper yield was above standard. More than EC 1.9 million has already been invested into land preparation, equipment, irrigation, and staffing. We have also secured the mill, water pumps, and fencing materials. The next stage involves the transformation of the former Electrofab building at CA Paul Southwell Industrial Park into a dedicated pepper mash processing facility, turning locally grown peppers into export-grade mash to be shipped directly to Louisiana. Importantly, this company provides the seeds at no cost and guarantees the export of 100% of the harvested mash. At Hermitage Estate, over 100 acres of land are being cleared to scale the project. This will create consistent agricultural employment, particularly for those currently enrolled in the Skills Training Empowerment Program STEP. These workers are transitioning into full-time permanent roles in agriculture, moving from short-term public assistance to long-term economic contribution. And this is just one pillar of our agri-revolution. The SKN Seafood Processing Facility is another strategic project poised to create impact. Environmental and geotechnical testing have been completed at the selected site in La Valley, and the results have confirmed suitability for construction. The official signing of the project is scheduled to take place during Active 2025, the Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum in Grenada at the end of this month. That signing will mark the beginning of what will be a state-of-the-art processing and packaging plant focused initially on fish and shrimp with room for expansion into conch, lobster, and other marine products. The facility is expected to employ between 80 to 100 people directly and will also create significant economic spillovers in packaging, logistics, cold storage, and export handling. It will empower our fisherfolk, strengthen our export base, and move us up the value chain. No longer will we just catch and sell. We will process, brand, and export products with our own national stamp. Importantly, we are not leaving out our small farmers. Across the Federation, more than 700 farmers have received direct support under the Ministry of Agriculture's Resilience and Recovery Program. These interventions are not one-time handouts. They are part of a comprehensive strategy to increase yields, improve water use efficiency, enhance climate resilience, lower production costs, boost competitiveness. We are also advancing a land use planning strategy, identifying fertile, underutilized government lands and repurposing them for food production. At the same time, we are promoting sustainable agtech, including controlled environment agriculture, hydroponics, and digital farm mapping. According to the latest Ministry of Agriculture data, vegetable production has increased by 17% year over year. Poultry production is up by 22%, and local egg production has surpassed 7 million eggs annually. The fisheries sector in St. Kitts and Nevis achieved a historic milestone, generating a record-breaking $19.6 million in revenue. These are signs of a sector waking up, of farmers investing, youth getting involved, and families eating more locally grown food. Of course, this progress must also reduce our food import bill, which currently exceeds $200 million annually. This is why we are setting clear targets to reduce imported produce by 25% by 2027, starting with tomatoes, lettuce, sweet peppers, and onions. Fellow citizens and residents, food is about survival and sovereignty. When we feed ourselves, we keep more of our wealth at home. Taken together, these projects reveal the soul of our transformation. To all who call our islands home, also at the heart of the Sustainable Island State agenda lies our deep and fervent commitment to health, education, and housing. In healthcare, we are on the verge of delivering one of the most ambitious public health investments in our country's history: the construction of a new general hospital on St. Kitts. Thanks to our long-standing diplomatic partnership with the Republic of China, Taiwan, we have finalized a cooperation agreement that will fund and facilitate this state-of-the-art facility. The new hospital will be built to climate-smart specifications, incorporating solar energy systems, rainwater harvesting, and backup renewable energy storage. It will feature a fully modernized emergency department, expanded surgical and maternity wards, and a diagnostic imaging center and a digital medical record system. Site preparation and preliminary works have begun, with full construction slated to begin before the end of this year. At the same time, we are investing in school infrastructure because we believe that every child deserves to learn in an environment that is safe, modern, and inspiring. Through the National School Rehabilitation and Upgrade Program, we have carried out roof replacements, structural reinforcements, bathroom upgrades, new perimeter fencing, and accessibility improvements across multiple institutions. As part of this program, the Joshua Obadiah Williams Primary School, which was tragically destroyed by fire in 2022, is now being rebuilt from the ground up. This project is being delivered by 3 local contractors, a deliberate move to keep the economic benefits within the community. The school will include 8 classrooms, a new library, a computer lab, and an upgraded play area. Jobs have already been created during the construction phase, and the facility is on track for completion by the end of 2026. When reopened, it will serve over 120 students and will stand as a proud emblem of local talent and national commitment. Since assuming office, we have delivered 183 housing solutions to families across St. Kitts, each built on the National Housing Corporation's Affordable Homes Program. Another 79 housing solutions are currently under active construction in communities across the island. In addition to these single-family homes, we are also expanding access to affordable housing through cluster apartment developments. At East Street, NHC have built 2 apartment buildings, each with 4 units, one with tenants and the other nearing completion. Over on West Street, a 4-story apartment building with 8 units is under construction, adding much needed residential capacity in the heart of our capital. NHC is committed to constructing more homes in clusters throughout all the constituencies in St. Kitts. I am pleased to announce for the first time that NHC has secured US $10 million in funding from a CBI public benefactor to continue building affordable housing solutions. These homes will be built by local contractors for those most in need of housing. I am also pleased to report that from my latest discussions with the private developers of the St. Kitts Ritz-Carlton Resort Hotel and Residencies at South Friars Bay, they are on track to start full construction by the end of 2025. The Ritz-Carlton is renowned for providing distinctive luxury and legendary service around the world, and this monumental development signals a new chapter in St. Kitts' evolution as a premier luxury destination in the Caribbean, reinforcing our administration's commitment to economic growth and tourism excellence. This premier hotel development will bring hundreds of jobs to our people during construction and operation. Tourism generally is booming in St. Kitts. There was a healthy increase to 750,000 cruise passengers during the period October 2024 to April 2025, compared to 690,000 in 2024. St. Kitts recorded 61,000 e-arrivals as of April 2025, and a 14% increase over 2024. Quarter 1 2025 visitor spend totaled US $24.3 million. This growth is the result of the collective efforts of the Ministry of Tourism, its sister agencies, and the industry partners, all focused on enhancing the guest experience, improving our port facilities, and ensuring visitor satisfaction and safety. Again, this growth is not by accident. In 2023 and 2024, we negotiated with and welcomed new airlines and new cruise ships. In 2025, we are starting to see the results that benefit the hundreds of local stakeholders in our tourism industry. My dear people of St. Kitts and Nevis, these investments in our nation are not temporary. They are transformational and they are designed to endure. Young people remain at the heart of our development strategy. Our partnership with Southern University in Louisiana, USA is expanding. This fall, 10 students from St. Kitts and Nevis will depart for Southern to pursue degrees in science, technology, agriculture, business, and public policy. This partnership, which began as a diplomatic initiative, has evolved into a long-term academic pipeline. Equally groundbreaking is our growing collaboration with Germany's technical and vocational education sector. Through a bilateral arrangement with the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany and in partnership with technical schools in Hamburg and Berlin, we have created a scholarship and a placement program specifically tailored for young adults pursuing trade certification and apprenticeships. Later this month, 2 young men from St. Kitts and Nevis will depart for Germany, where they will live, study, and train in technical and vocational fields. Additionally, to date, 120 residents have enrolled or completed training in cybersecurity, electric vehicle maintenance certification courses. These programs are being conducted in partnership with local institutions such as CFBC, AVEC, and international consultants with support from the Prime Minister's Office, the Ministry of ICT, and the Department of Energy. In short order, a certification training program will commence in solar PV installation. This is how we are building real pathways to employment. My dear people, our Aspire program is transforming futures. To date, over 5,200 applications have flooded in, a testament to your faith in this vision. We've already seeded 4,000 plus savings accounts with EC $1,000 each, injecting over EC $4 million directly into the dreams of our children. This is the foundation of financial sovereignty. Starting September 1st, 2025, we pilot Aspire's financial literacy curriculum in several primary and secondary schools across both islands, teaching our youth to grow wealth, not just to save it. And early next year, we hope to launch the investment shares component, turning accounts into ownership stakes in our nation's growth. We want every child in our federation to master budgeting, investing, and entrepreneurship. To every parent, guardian, and elder, if you haven't enrolled your child, act now. This is their birthright, a passport to wealth creation and financial independence. Visit aspire.gov.kn and secure their stake in our sustainable island state. Jobs, income, and opportunities. No message of national progress would be complete without addressing the foundation of everyday life: work, wages, and opportunities. This administration is making economic progress visible, practical, and personal. As of July 2025, history has been made for workers across St. Kitts and Nevis. After consultations and careful deliberation, the national minimum wage has been officially increased to EC $12.50 per hour, EC $500 per week, a transformative step in our pursuit of fairness and economic justice. This is a long overdue victory for the working men and women who power our economy. Let the record show that only with a St. Kitts Nevis Labour Party at the helm of government has progress been made with regard to increasing the minimum wage. In 2014, the minimum wage stood at $9 per hour, offering workers $360 per week. By January 1st, 2024, this administration raised that to $10.75, pushing weekly earnings to $430. And now, with this most recent increase, workers will take home EC $500 a week. This is what it means to build an economy that values its workforce. But we are going further. This week, we will further review the effects of statutory deductions, particularly with Housing and Social Development Levy, to ensure that workers earning the minimum wage and those making slightly more than maximize their income. Our aim is to protect take-home pay, not just gross income. In addition to the increase in the minimum wage, we introduced a series of bold, people-centered measures aimed at easing financial pressure and boosting household stability during the first half of 2025. Initiatives such as the popular and highly successful Budget Boost Wallet. The Budget Boost Wallet assisted over 22,000 hard-working persons, totaling over $30 million in 6 months. The temporary reduction in VAT from 17% to 13% and targeted fiscal resets were launched to provide direct relief to working families and stimulate the local economy. This brought savings of over $10 million to our people. Both programs resulted in an over $40+ million ease for our people. And while these were initially designed as short interventions, what we have seen is encouraging. These measures help jumpstart consumer confidence, improve household cash flow, and reignite economic activity at the community level. They have laid a solid foundation, one that has put our economy on stronger footing and reaffirmed the value of responsive, compassionate governance. The lessons learned from these efforts are shaping our approach moving forward as we continue to pursue policies that protect the most vulnerable and empower the working class. The effect of these measures is already being felt in the economy. The construction sector, which contracted slightly in late 2024, is now firmly rebounding, thanks to the ramp up in public infrastructure projects. Contractors are hiring again, hardware stores are moving inventory, and electricians, plumbers, and masons are back on the job. According to the Social Security Board, job registrations in the first half of 2025 have increased by 11% compared to the same period last year, driven primarily by growth in construction, agriculture, and government services. My dear people, real progress cannot live in statistics alone. It must live in the people's pockets, in their job security, in their career options, in their ability to start a business, raise a family, buy a home, or pursue a dream, and in the calm that lets them sleep safely at night. So when we speak of powering progress, this is how we make progress real, visible, and inclusive, by putting prosperity in people's pockets and preserving the sacred peace of our nation. To our brave security services, our police, defense force, and border protection, your staunch vigilance these past months has kept our shores safe and our streets calm. The transformation, the kind that lifts families and fuels future, can only blossom where peace abounds, just as our anthem proclaims. To our brothers and sisters abroad, our last address called on you in the diaspora to be an active part of nation building, and many of you did. Tonight, we double down on that call. The doors of our economy are wide open to you. So wherever you are in the world, there's a role for you. Our nation needs your hands. My fellow builders of our sustainable island state, we are not standing still. We are building steadily, deliberately, and together. We are not simply reacting to change. We are shaping it step by step, brick by brick, policy by policy. Across this federation, progress is taking root. In the homes being built, the schools rising, the roads being constructed, and the youth being trained and the hope being reinforced. Through seed, we planted the vision. Through SISA, we are growing the future. A future where your work is valued, your children are educated in modern classrooms, your family has access to reliable energy, water, healthcare, housing, and opportunity. A future where our country no longer waits for help, but leads with innovation, with purpose, and with pride. None of this is by accident. It is the result of planning, of political will, and of a government that is working for all. And as we move forward, we invite you to stay engaged, to stay hopeful, and to stay committed to the country we are shaping together. I also want to take this moment to thank the members of Cabinet, my dedicated colleagues, for their unwavering support and leadership in advancing our sustainable island state agenda. Their collaboration, insight, and shared commitment have been instrumental in transforming vision into action and ensuring that every decision we make is grounded in the well-being of our people and the long-term resilience of our federation. And to our people, we ask for your continued support in our realization of this grand vision of creating a sustainable island state. Let us not be daunted by how much lies ahead. Let us be motivated by how much is already underway and by the powerful truth that, St. Kitts and Nevis, progress is not a promise waiting to be fulfilled. It is a reality already in motion. This is the Sustainable Island State Agenda. This is transformation you can see. This is your government at work. May God bless each of you, and may He forever bless our beloved Federation. Thank you for listening. Have a pleasant evening.